Good morning, girls. I hope you all are fine. In a previous class, we studied about protocols. What are protocols? Protocols are the rule that we follow to send data over an unsecured network. The first protocol that we studied was File Transfer Protocol, FTP. In this, as I said, even unregistered user can send the data. Today, we are going to study another network, that is SSH. SSH means Secure Socket Shell Protocol. This protocol is used for securing data over unsecured network. It establishes a secure connection between the client and the host computer. Okay, so between client and the server, a secure connection is established through remote command execution, transferring data over a network. In Secure Socket Shell Protocol, it creates a public key and private key. Now, what is this? Data encryption, public key, private key. So, let us study that first. Data encryption is that form in which we convert the data into a form that only sender and receiver can understand. Okay. So, when you send a plain text, it is known as a plain text. And when it is encrypted or converted into a form in which only receiver understands, it is known as ciphertext. I'll give you an example of this, of encryption. In older days, in military also, they make use of encryption. If they want to send a message like ABC, okay, so they create a code language. If they are saying ABC, it means A means hi, B means why, C means how. Okay, so this coding language is known as encryption if we consider real world example. So this is a plain text that is converted in, this is a plain text that is converted into a ciphertext when you want to transfer in a network. So that in middle, if someone tries to steal this information, it is difficult for that person to get the real meaning of what the sender means. Same thing is applied on internet also, because we are sending a data over unsecured network and we don't want the other person, intruders, to know that what is the communication happening between sender and receiver. Give you one more example that we are using today. Whenever you log in, they ask for OTP. What is that? OTP. It is for your security. It is a protocol that whenever you enter details, that server asks you to enter your OTP. And once you enter your OTP, they said, yes, you are verified. And then the next form come in front of you. All this is done to secure your privacy. Fine. So this is encryption. Now in computers, when they encrypt the data, there are two types of key. One is a private key and one is a public key. Private key is a key that only one person knows. The person who creates that keys knows. And public key is the key that all the person who are connected to that network knows. Okay. So private key and public key. And the next thing that you should remember is, if someone is sending a message with a private key, that message can be unlocked only with a public key. Okay, and if someone is sending a message with a public key, then if you want to unlock that message, you have to make use of private key. I repeat once more. If someone is sending a message plus private key, in that case, you need a public key to unlock it. Fine. And if someone is sending a message with a public key, in this you need a private key to unlock it. Fine. Is this much clear? Encryption means when you change a plain text into a form that only sender and receiver can understand, that is ciphertext, it is encryption. And when you convert the data back from ciphertext to the plain text, it is decryption. And whenever you send your data on a network, you make use of two keys, private keys and public key. I will explain you the working of this. So if sender is sending a message with a private key and you want to unlock this message, you have to make use of public key. if sender is sending a message with a public key, then you need a private key to unlock. Now let us understand the working of this secure shell socket protocol. Okay, how does it work? See, suppose this and this are two computers. This is your client and this is your server. Fine. And this client is having a private key. Okay, means client has already created an account and is authenticated to use a server. So when client send message to a server to initiate the connection, okay, means to start a connection. Okay, so what will this server do? Server will be having all the public key with it. Okay, so server will be sending some random message, like you get a message to enter OTP. That is a random message. So it sends some random message to the client. Fine. Server will send some random message to a client. Now what will client do? Client will encrypt message with a public key. Okay, he will encrypt message with private key. Because client is having here a private key. Fine. Now what will server do? Server will unlock this message with the public key and then it will send a decrypt message with a public key. Means server need what? A public key to decrypt this private message. Fine. This is how authentication is checked in secure socket shell protocols. So the next protocol that we are going to study is SCP. SCP means Secure Copy Protocol. Okay. So as the name says, secure means this protocol also provides security while transferring data over unsecured network. Okay. In this you give commands, okay, that automatically prompts the user to enter the password information when user wants to access a server. The only difference is that you cannot transfer file between machine of different architecture. Okay, so if this is a client machine and this is your server, okay, so the server will ask for authentication and then you can give data, commands, okay, can be transferred on this secured thing, and this secured thing is known as encrypted tunnel. What is this known as? Encrypted tunnel that provides the security between clients and server. It creates a tunnel through which the encrypted data or commands are transferred over a network between a client and a server. Fine. The next network for today that we are going to study is SFTP. So as the name says, we have studied FTP, that was file transfer protocol. Now we are going to study SFTP, that is secure file transfer protocol. So in file transfer protocol, we have studied that even the unregistered user can send the data or over a network using a FTP protocol. But in SFTP, it is secured file transfer protocol. So in this, FTP sends data and commands over a network in text form. Even important credentials like username and password are sent in the form of text. When you send the data in the form of text, the data is unsecured. Okay, so in FTP, we are sending all, even if you are registered, you're sending your username, password, it is in a form of plain text only. So it is insecure. In SFTP, it encrypts the data in a binary form. Okay, and therefore by making it secure, and it also prevents unauthorized user to access during operation. The three steps of SFTP are: SFTP, first authenticate the client and the server by establishing a secure connection through the firewall. Step 2, Then SFTP protocol encrypts all the data in binary form before sending it over a network. Then the third step is SFTP provides data protection against common security threats. So suppose this is your SFTP client. Okay, and here one more SFTP client. Okay, they both want to communicate. So in the middle, okay, there is SFTP server. Okay, so when this client want to send certain data, it goes to SFTP server. It converts the data into a binary form and then send the data to the other SFTP client. So as the data is in the form of binary form, so the speed is faster. Fine. So SFTP, SCP and FTP protocol we have done. What is the difference? FTP was the oldest protocol and it does not require any encryption. Hence it is insecure. Okay. Then SCP protocol, it has minimum abilities of SSH protocol and therefore data is encrypted, but the traffic is, there is lot of traffic in SCP. Then SFTP protocol, in SFTP protocol, it transfers files, uploading and downloading a file, it does all these functions, but in this you have a SFTP server that converts the data in the form of binary form, so that the speed of data transfer is faster. So is this clear? Protocols. Now we are going to study another protocol, and another protocol, it is used for email retrieval. Okay, when you want to send a mail, okay, at that time you make use of a protocol that is SMTP. That is, the full form is Simple Mail Transfer Protocol. As the name says, that this protocol is helpful for transferring mail or messages over a network. Fine. So the most common protocol, it is the most common protocol used when you want to send mails. Okay. Apart from sending mail, SMTP also provides notification regarding the incoming emails. It cannot transmit pictures, sound, movies. It is capable of sending only text. Hence, we need some other protocol for email retrieval. Okay. So, what happens in SMTP protocol? Suppose this is a sender. Okay. The sender is sending some mail. Okay. Then SMTP protocol, here SMTP protocol, take this message on the internet. Fine. Then again here there is SMTP protocol that send this to the mail server. Fine. Then again here, when now you want to retrieve the data. Okay, the receiver wants to receive the data, but in this case SMTP will not help you to retrieve the data. So if the receiver wants to see the data, it needs the another protocol, that is POP3 protocol, that is Post Office Protocol version 3. Okay, so you can send only text while using SMTP. You cannot send pictures, audios, videos using SMTP protocol. And even when you want to retrieve, the receiver want to see what is there in the message, you need the other protocol, that is POP3, that is Post Office Protocol version 3. Fine. So sender sends a message on the internet using SMTP protocol, then SMTP sends it to the mail server, and then for mail server has to send the data to the receiver. In that case, it needs another protocol, that is POP3 protocol, to retrieve the data. So what is a POP3 protocol? The POP3 protocol is Post Office Protocol version 3. Next protocol is POP3 protocol, that is Post Office Protocol version 3. It is another commonly used email protocol. You need to input your username and password to successfully receive email from the remote web server. Fine. So sender send the message using SMTP. Then when you want to retrieve the message, at the receiving end, you need a POP3 protocol, that is Post Office Protocol version 3. Fine. In the next class, we will continue with some other internet services. Thank you.